Mubin sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
All right. Monica ma'am?
Hello, Nilshana. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Now you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. We may start the session now.
Okay, ma'am.
Am I audible? Hello?
Hello, Kartikeya sir?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. All right. So, a very warm welcome and a very good morning to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Amit Jain, sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor G.K. Asiri, sir, Registrar, sir, Dr. Nitin Bhadwaj, sir, Dean, Directors, HOIs of different departments of Amity University, Rajasthan, Coordinator, IBAS, Dr. Monica Golani, ma'am, esteemed guest, Mr. Kartikeya Gupta, sir, faculty members, my colleagues, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of Amity Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences, Amity University, Rajasthan, who has clubbed all of us for the guest lecture on the next generation for STEM, sustainability, and social impact. I, Dr. Nihashi Srivastava, Assistant Professor IBAS, would like to welcome everybody present here for the celebration of Anandam Day. Shri Krishna has said in Gita, the real sense of happiness is not crushing your destiny, not wanting every second to change your scene, to change another mind, but to change your own mind to change the world. Yes, the essence of genuine happiness, emphasizing the inner transformation and the power of one's mindset in shaping one's perception of the world. Rajasthan government realized the importance of this authentic happiness and launched Anandam scheme. The Anandam Yojana is pioneering addition in college curriculum, drawing inspiration from the Gandhian philosophy that advocates the comprehensive development of individual or the students through community services. This scheme is designed to integrate community service directly into the academic syllabus, emphasizing the importance of actively participating in initiatives that benefit society. Under the Anandam scheme, students are empowered to choose the form of community services they wish to engage in, whether it's global warming, education for underprivileged children, healthcare assistance, or any other socially beneficial activities. Students are encouraged to select an area that aligns with their passions and interests. A daily act of goodness and charity will infuse the habit of community services in students because happiness is not in acquiring things, but permanent happiness comes from giving, sharing, and caring for someone, and this is the motto of the Anandam scheme. To create awareness in this context, the Amity Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences and Amity Center of Positivism and Happiness have organized a guest lecture on this day, the next generation for STEM, sustainability and social impact. Yes, this is the topic of the day. To begin with, I would like to take the honor of introducing our esteemed guest for this lecture, Mr. Kartikeya Gupta sir. Mr. Kartikeya Gupta sir is a distinguished graduate of Amity University, Rajasthan, specializing in mechanical engineering. Kartikeya currently serves as the Director of Programs at Vatsalya, where he has been a vital figure in establishing a state-of-the-art science center dedicated to educating underprivileged youth. He is also the visionary behind Energyfy, an initiative that has successfully launched a multitude of solar energy and rainwater harvesting projects in Jaipur and its surrounding areas. Beyond these managerial responsibilities, Kartikeya is an educator at his core. He teaches subjects such as science, mechanics, and physics, and extend his love for astronomy through citizen science sessions in collaboration with NASA. Kartikeya is an accomplished author of 2 books and has engaged in international climate research. He also holds a state championship title in swimming. Vatsalya, under his guidance, has evolved into a comprehensive community school situated in rural Rajasthan. The institution offers a wide array of outreach programs in healthcare, women empowerment, and climate change solutions, with a particular focus on solar energy. And the Vatsalya campus is Rajasthan's one of the only carbon neutral and green educational facility. So now I would like to a very warm welcome to Kartikeya sir. And now I would like to request to our coordinator, Amity Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences, Dr. Monica Golani ma'am, for the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neeraj ma'am, and I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. And definitely, we are celebrating today Anandam Day under the government scheme of Anandam. And we always used to celebrate it by organizing guest lecture, webinar, and different things for spreading happiness, which is one of the most important component that we are lacking in nowadays. And in this regard, I would like to first thanks our speaker of the day, Mr. Kartikeya sir, for accepting our invitation and being there with us for this event and spreading happiness among the students. And talking about this topic that we are having STEM, sustainability and social impact. Definitely, STEM is something which is not my forte since I am from behavioral sciences. But definitely, this sustainability and social impact is something with which I can relate and I can share my experience or my insight about it. So, talking about this sustainability and social impact, definitely, we are there's nowadays a concept named social sustainability, which is we all are looking forward into, and we all are lacking as well. Here we are having this setup where we are working. Some of the times we are not having a very healthy culture environment where we can grow, excel, and can move ahead. And so there is a need to create awareness to know about this social sustainability, which is one of the really need of an hour, a very important concept, and we must all look into it. And in that way, we can promote empowerment, can build trust among our team member, and improve our work-life balance. In this regard, I guess Kartikeya sir would be a better person who can enlighten us with his wise words. And I guess Kartikeya sir is here with us, and we shall now hand over the mic to him.
Yes,
Sir?
Kartikeya sir here, and we are waiting for his session. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable and knowledgeable words. And without further ado, let's start our session and call today's guest speaker. And I would like to give over the mic to Mr. Kartik Gupta sir, and I'm calling to you with these words, which is very close to my heart. जीवन की पथरीली राहों में चलने में भय कैसा, जीवन की पथरीली राहों में चलने में भय कैसा, हर पत्थर बन जाएगा मंजिल, संकल्प हो तो संशय कैसा. एंड आई थिंक ये लाइंस आपके लिए बहुत अप्रोप्रिएट हैं कार्तिक सर. सो स्टेज इज योर्स, ओवर टू यू.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes sir, you are audible.
Okay. First of all, deeply honored and very humbled to be here. Thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you very much, VC sir, for giving me the honor of this stage. It has been 10 years almost since I graduated from MET, and I never knew that these 10 years are going to bring so much learning for me in terms of working directly at the grassroots level with the community, inculcating elements of whatever I learned in the university as a mechanical engineer, as well as the values which I was provided by through my family, schooling, and of course my university. So first of all, I want to thank MET University and all of the designated members, and of course, Dr. Monica, Dr. Niharshi, who have been coordinating with me. Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction. Thank you. If you permit me, I can begin with my talk.
Sir, the stage is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I hope it's okay if I use some intermittent words in Hindi. They have a more impact in Hindi because we are going to be talking about grassroots level. So I think I hope it's okay for the students.
Yes, sir. It's perfectly fine. You may please.
So am I allowed to share my screen?
Yes, sir. Mubin, sir.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's visible.
Okay, great. So we are going to talk about STEM, sustainability, and social impact. Now, at the first go, sometimes people feel that technology and social impacts aren't really going hand to hand. But the fact of the matter and the truth is that they go more hand to hand than most other aspects in the development of a nation. Now, these are words by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think everybody knows Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a very renowned astrophysicist. When Chandrayaan 3 was launched, he said, when some British reporter commented that if India needs to feed its people, how does it have the money to send rockets to the South Pole of the moon? And it needs to return its aid, which it has taken from UK. So there was a lot of controversy in that aspect. But what Neil deGrasse Tyson said in response to this was that if a country needs to be developed, the go-to aspect is science and technology. And now how that comes into the picture, let's start. So I'm going to start with my personal experience, and these 4 photographs are actually of the last few months only. The top left photograph is one where I am teaching citizen science how to operate telescopes to communities nearby Achrol. There are more than 50 children who come from 20 satellite cluster villages around Achrol area. And what that citizen science is going to entail, I will definitely tell at the end of the presentation. But they are learning the intricacies of these advanced equipment. In the second picture, I'm interacting with some of volunteers and local artisans. Artisans are from the Achrol area, women who earn their livelihood through block printing and Kata, some facilities which we try to provide. And the women from Spain and Portugal are the ones who are interacting and having a cultural exchange and understanding the value of livelihoods for these women and artisans. In the third photograph, lower left, I'm actually explaining the working of a Scheffler paraboloid reflector and advanced model, which is the only one present at right now in the country, which is in our campus, which was donated to us for free by its inventor, to professors and students from BITS Pilani, who had come for a collaborative exchange. And in the last picture, I am sharing some insights into real education. Now, real education is a broad term, but by real education, I mean practical education pedagogy other than books, and why that is important with the community children gathered at a center around Achrol. So I've also given some statistics here. STEM job growth, the demand for STEM jobs in India has increased by 44% in the last 5 years, indicating a significant shift towards technology-driven economy. And of course, it's estimated that 80% of the jobs which will be created in the near future will require STEM skills. Now, STEM is basically science, technology, engineering, mathematics. But I understand the context of this lecture is from the perspective of MIT Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences. But that will actually perfectly fit into the frame. How that will, I will explain. But as of now, it's students and everybody needs to understand that STEM does not prerequisite you to have a technical degree. We are talking about the scientific method and the scientific thinking. I'll give a short example for this. The scientific thinking will prohibit you from thinking that after 7 p.m. at one corner of the village, there will be a swing where a witch will make the swing go back and forth. Though that will prohibit you from thinking that a sick child will not need to go to the doctor, but rather will need to be taken to traditionally, which we call jhad phook, where the leaves are blown onto that child, and peacock feathers are blown, and magically somehow that child will get better. So we're not talking about a prerequisite having a technical degree. We're talking about a scientific thinking. Science, technology, engineering, maths starts at a very young age, much before any bachelor of technology degree or bachelor of science degree. That starts as the child grows up and is curious about the world. That is what science was in the olden days. But many things have been misnomered as we have just gone into the books and very specific lines of career. And there's a science guy and there's a non-science guy. That distinguishing feature is actually not there from the perspective of the human mind. Third point here I covered was agroeconomy needs STEM. We are an agricultural economy. India is an agricultural economy. And imagine if a farmer knows the perfect fertilizer which can give a good yield without using a pesticide, and being able to set up a local weather station at his farm to better predict when he'll need to water his crops or not, or put in urea or not. So that's the scientific aptitude we're talking about here. A small study we had conducted about 2 months back, August, September. We found that the orientation was for science. We covered about 10 schools in a 30-kilometer radius, and this 30-kilometer radius involves the MIT campus also. Now, these are less privileged schools, but out of 3,229 students, only 67 students opted for science in 11th grade. That's a very, very small percentage. Why these things are happening? This does not happen so much in urban areas, but rural India comprises of a large chunk of its population. And to further the growth of all of us, the entire country needs to move forward. So this low access to science education, I think everybody here can imagine. And the right pedagogy to education, especially science education, is not followed. And then there are additional factors which are very important from the social point of view. Nutritional gaps. 45% children, especially girls, are anemic. If you are not able to get good amount of oxygen into your brain to function, to perform well, how will you learn? Then vocational skills. No, vocational skills are really undervalued. Here I've written a word called as form filling emphasis. So in a rural setting, in a rural household, the child is, from the beginning, he or she is oriented that you have to get a government job and become a government clerk, and that's all. So form filling. I asked children what they want to do. They said, we'll fill a form. Is that the purpose in life? They don't know the avenues which are available in today's world, right? And then gender disparity. There are much lower rates of enrollment for girls in STEM. At present, only 14% researchers in India are females. Only 14%. That's actually sad. We really need to change that. community engagement. Now, the meaning of education, this is not only a rural problem, this is an urban problem also, but the meaning of education is only marks, scores. So in the actual sense of education, parents are not typically involved in what the child is actually learning. Then infrastructure, there is a serious lack of infrastructure especially in the rural setting. Even in the urban settings, functional assets are less, but in the rural setting, they are less than 5%. Then, of course, there are cultural and language barriers. Moving on. Now, this is a picture of Delhi, but I think we can relate this to any urban city in India, especially during the months of October. The way pollution is increasing and the way we are maldistributing our resources and mistreating our natural assets, what nature has provided to us, and really skewing the resource utilization. Things are going south, and people are not thinking about very basic things, that the supply chain of everything, of our food, is really important. Now, I have a 2-year-old son, and I am concerned, what will the future look like for him? Will he be able to go and play cricket in the gully 20 years from now? I don't know. What will our children eat? What will our children breathe? Now, I'm going to share a link here. Is the link visible? Is the link visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Is the poem visible? I just or it is not. Just a second. I'll just share the entire screen. I think now it should be visible, right?
Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. So I wrote this poem just thinking about the future generation. A few days back, I wrote this in yeah. So we did not cause climate change. This is a poem by the children to us. Imagine future children singing this to you. We did not cause climate change. We did not make missiles of high range. We did not shape a dark tomorrow, which would be filled with despair and sorrow. Work for us, maybe your effort can support. Do your best with all you can afford. Train us, maybe we can help too, and give the earth back its due. Do not give in to society's crazy pressures. Do not cave into your own worldly pleasures. An impact is underway if you do not stop. Otherwise, many things are on the brink to pop. You have the access to the world's resources. You have all the power in your hands. You are surrounded by positive forces and by these beautiful, energizing lands. We did not cause climate change. We did not make missiles of high range. We will always help you by unfurling ourselves, provided you stay true to your inner self. Now, I wrote this poem thinking what the future generation would be saying to us. And they're saying this right now, actually. I'll also share one more thing about some environmental interventions. Now, this is what these children, these rural children can create. At our campus, which is very close to Amity University, and students are most welcome to visit. We made this campus carbon neutral through many assets. We have eaten solar food since the last 10 years. But the amazing thing is there's no involvement of an external company doing this. This is the rainwater harvesting. This is the off-grid 20 kilowatt solar plant. And then there are some unique features. The Scheffler 2.0 reflector, a new kind of, which came in 4,000 parts, and it was put together by children who had no background in science. This Scheffler reflector was supported by the inventor himself. And then we have a oven which was built from 70% waste material. which is powered by solar power. And again, these are those beneficiaries who didn't know what basically engineering was, but they knew how to apply their mind into basic sciences. And then they were, of course, trained and oriented. And then we have this infinite range bicycle. These are some of the solar cookers. Another solar cooker which we use. This is a very simple water-based cooker. So there's a water channel above, and when the force of gravity pushes the, I think everybody can see. Just zoom in. When the water pushes it through gravity, just a second. Through gravity, it creates a plano convex lens, and you can actually fry pakoras below. Very simple, and these are minds of 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds. And then another picture of the solar oven, another kind of solar oven. So these impacts were created by children who had no formal education. They were given it later on, but they had the potential, they had the innate. Now, according to me, this slide is actually the most important slide of the presentation. Is it okay if I hear back a little bit from the students who are there? Are the students able to follow me? Can I hear a yes?
Yes, they can follow.
They can follow? All right.
Ajit sir, please coordinate.
Yes, sir. We are.
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, all of this becomes a little shallow if it is not coming from within. Now, for anything to come from within, you have to actually find the purpose. And this is where the actual social impact comes. Social impact does not come by going and distributing food packets or organizing a fair with promises of jobs. Social impact comes from one person who thinks he or she can create or do something which can actually help some small aspect of a life of another person, and that other person is in need of that. When you have a vision, it starts with, oh, maybe I can do something. So it starts with could. Maybe I could do this. Or maybe I could open an organization. Or maybe I could feed the dog, which is very malnourished and comes to my house, near my house every day. Maybe I could. Then that comes to a self-talk. This is all self-talk. Then you talk to yourself, maybe I should do it. Maybe it is something worth doing. I should do it. And then it comes more into action. Oh, I will do it. I would do it. And when the conviction really gets into your heart, then you go to the stage of must doing it. So social impact has to be very honest. It cannot be a dishonest attempt to just highlight a new adventure in your life. Oh, that I changed people's lives and I'm doing very good. Arrogance and ego are some elements we have to be wary about when we do some social impact, because no person, even those who are you are doing this for, is less than you, and no person is more than you. Every person, every child is entitled to dignity. But what you are doing is, maybe you're coming from a larger pool of knowledge and larger pool of assets, and you are pooling your resources, your mind or your physical resources, into leveraging it into an event or an action which can help someone feel better, do better, live better. I hope everybody is able to follow it. So now here are the photos. Here polio drops are being given. Here children are being taught Kathak. We have 25 black belters we have created. We have 3 champions, gold medal champions of kickboxing. And then this is another model with the children themselves created. And the next class of children is learning from that model, which the previous class of children had created. A sustaining village they had created. So, but as an implementer of these programs, these initiatives, a conviction and honest belief in yourself is must. What happens then is you form a network. So I'm blessed to have formed this wide network. It takes time, it takes 10 years, and of course you have to leave out many lucrative things. I left my job in Eicher Polaris, which paid me 3 times more than I began when I came here, because this is a project-based fund which gives you your portion of salary. But in a corporate, of course, you get a very lucrative thing, and of course, so it depends on your purpose in life also. But the thing is, the real strength, you come to realize the real strength in your life are people in your life, your network. So Elon Musk can easily lose all of his money, but he will not turn poor. Try to understand that. Elon Musk can easily lose all of his money, but he will not become poor. The real wealth lies in people who are ready to support you, who believe in your own conviction, who believe in your work which you are doing, and they think that, okay, this is meaningful, this is purposeful. So this is a network which we have formed, a glimpse of the network which we have formed in the last 10 years. This is the Nobel Prize winner Frances Arnold, who was at our campus in winters few years ago. This is Pamela Jorkman, another biochemist. This is Wolfgang Scheffler, who I mentioned, the inventor of the Scheffler reflector, very good mentor. This is Heike Hörder, his wife. And then, of course, many bodies, many other people. Now, the thing is, whenever you are facing a bad situation in life, or from an organizational point of view also, you are facing difficulties, then these people turn up. Now, a very important thing which is not mentioned here, schools and universities from urban and rural Jaipur. Amity University gives us so many collaboration opportunities. Honorable VC sir had come as a chief guest to our first international conference on solar cooking, console food, which was organized in July. So this network really heightens the worth of all of the efforts you are putting at and creates a bigger impact. Now these are the faces of the children who grow up to become successful individuals in their life. It doesn't matter that they all should become scientists, or they all should become very high level earning people, but believe you me, all of them are happy, satisfied, and earning good enough in life. These are the children who have been rehabilitated through Vatsalya. Not all of them are in picture. There are more than 600 children, but this is one batch of the alumni. Now, this Mohit, he runs a travel agency. He didn't know English. He runs a travel agency. This Karan, he bought his own auto and now does all the logistics in and around Jaipur, people as well as loads. Then there are other examples. One child, Ayush, he cleared IIT JEE exam this year, advanced. So this child who did not know how to read or write when he was in 7th or 8th class, he cleared IIT JEE. So it's, the potential is all there. There are many other examples also. I want to this will be a conclusion of my presentation part, but I want to share one thing. So this child is Devashi. She is now giving back to Vatsalya by teaching science. He is a BSc B.Ed qualified, and what I want to do share with you guys is this moving animation is actually an animation of an asteroid, 1998 HH49, which passed very close to Earth from October 20th to October 23. You can see the animation. I hope everybody can see. So this person, using citizen science data and in collaboration with NASA, studied the path of this asteroid, and this data has been sent to NASA and SETI and other space agencies, including ISRO, who can predict whether in its next cycle it will be a danger to Earth or not, and whether countermeasures need to be deployed to us. Now, this child was actually found 12 years ago near Amer in Jaipur. It's a very famous tourist place. People know Amer Palace. Begging without a mother and father. He and his sister were rescued and brought to Vatsalya. And he told me, I took him to Delhi for an exhibition few days, like about 2 months back. And he told me that there were days on end when he didn't know whether the next meal would be available or not. And now he's contributing data of near-Earth asteroids, planetary defense to institutions like NASA. Now, this is the social impact. This is the impact of STEM. And about sustainability, I had already showcased about the solar and rainwater harvesting and all those assets. But this is the actual impact which changes the course of life of a child and then society in a larger purview. This is another picture. It was not captured by Devashish, but also captured by citizen scientists from Space Observatory, 5 minutes away from Amity University of the Orion Nebula. So these children are doing marvels now. Not all of them. I'm not saying that everything is a success story. There are so many numerous challenges. But these faces, these efforts, these pay off in the long term. But ultimately, if you believe you must, then only this will translate into a long-term thing. And I tell you, I know I want to just end my presentation with a small note. I know that you are all young students who are very worried about your career paths and how everything will happen and suffice in your life. I did share about negative aspects like pollution and the need of the and what climate change can do and what will our children be. But I want to share something positive also. The world has never been more connected than it is today. The world has never seen so many opportunities for youngsters as it is seeing today, especially a growing economy like India. And there is a trend of awareness also. Of course, there are trends of many ridiculing fashions on Instagram and these things, which are, I think, they put you away from the chief agendas in your life. But there are trends of awareness also. There are trends of meaningfulness also. And I work with the younger generation. There are students even from Amity, from DTU, from IITs, from BITS Pilani, who come and do internships with us at our campus. And interacting with more than 200 of them, I feel that there is definitely a strong sense of purpose in the next generation. So this network formation, start that now. Start that now, aligning to what you want to do in your life. When you start that now, and if you want to create a social impact, be it in any field, if you think that India has a big traffic problem, and it does, there are so many daily fatalities in terms of the highway traffic. You want to change that? Approach people, find out, discover, learn some statistics, approach more and more people, write a proposal. Now you have so many tools at your disposal. If you say to ChatGPT, I want to do this idea, formalize this into a formal language. You can use this, and then pitch that into your local group, into your community, form a network, and how the ladder just automatically forms. And you feel fulfilled with a sense of purpose, and the earnings come as a side effect. You do not need to run after the money. The earnings will come as a side effect. You all are blessed that you are in Amity University studying at such a esteemed institution, which provides you so many facilities in so many multifaceted approaches of life. So as I said, like STEM is not only limited to the science background people. To try to form this network from now on, there is limitless potential in terms of social impact you can do, in terms of future sustainability you can create, in terms of number of people you can gather with you as a team. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you so much, sir, for making and sharing your valuable experience and showering us with your knowledge. It's a wonderful session. So, students, if anyone have any question, they may raise their hand. Ajit, sir, kindly coordinate.
Yes, ma'am. Students, any question? Anyone, any question? I think the presentation was wonderful. So every student is mesmerized in some way.
I would encourage students to ask questions openly about anything, about any aspect, about any concern you may have relating to the presentation or relating to this work, or any personal goal you have in your mind. Let it be an open forum, open discussion. Please ask out. Asking the stupidest question is the wisest thing to do.
You can come up with your queries, your suggestions, your questions, anything. Yes, students?
Yes, Naman Goel. Mubin, sir, kindly allow to Naman. Sir, it will take some time.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Karthike. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are
you are
audible.
audible.
Sir, I'm just asking, how can we enhance students' capability for the interest in the field of STEM? Like, okay, students are there. We are just explaining them the concept of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It's all over there. But sometimes it happens that students are not at all interested in any kind of domain we are uh, imparting to them. So can you just let me know any trick or maybe any kind of skill set which could be used to get the attention from those students?
So it's an excellent question. I will share in my experience what has worked, and it works 70% of the time. If a child has even a basic interest and the curiosity relating to STEM, because we are talking about STEM, showing a demonstration to any student of any age helps. For example, we talked about astronomy. So the real breakthrough happens not when we are lecturing about astronomy and showcasing how many light years away things are. That seems like a lecture and boring thing. Now, what happens is when we actually did an astronomy session and showed the rings of Saturn to students, the student which was not at all oriented to even open up or ask anything, not only STEM, he was not open. He pushed forward after seeing the curiosity of other children and actually seeing the rings. He pushed the other children out of the queue, and I want to see. I want to see. This is a 12-year-old boy I'm talking about. I want to see. And when he saw the rings of Saturn, he asked me about 25 questions the very same day. And this is a child who had not spoken since months. So that natural curiosity needs to be brought out. When you grow older, it is a little bit more challenging, but showcasing things, and which, for example, at Amity University, when I was a student, I remember Ajay sir was our lab assistant, and he showed me the impeller working of motor turbine in the fluid mechanics class. When I saw that, I actually began studying fluid mechanics. Before that, it was just a 1 kilo book for me. You understand? And then that book became fluid for me in the metaphorical sense. So, but the thing is that knack and that drive has to come from within the child also. So if he feels that, oh, there is a sense of purpose and I'm feeling satisfied with this curiosity in terms of STEM, and there is a purposefulness in life, I can do something about it in my life. That is definitely one aspect. I'll give one more small aspect of this, as is the element of fear has to be removed. You do not have to learn double differentiation and Fourier transforms to become a scientifically oriented person. No, you do not have to fear things like this. STEM itself is so multifaceted and there are so many things you can do. For example, citizen science. Citizen science does not even require a degree. It does not require a degree of BSc, MSc, BTech. It requires a skill set and how to arrange and gather data as per a set standard. And then on the official website of NASA or JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, you can submit your findings. If it is aligned to those data sets, you can become a citizen scientist. On average, a citizen scientist in US is earning about $80,000 per year. So the fields are opening up. Children need to have this awareness also. So I hope that answers.
Any other question, Ajit sir?
Yes, ma'am. We have some questions.
Okay.
Very good morning, sir. I have a question. First, I would like to start with the feedback. Sir, the presentation was really good, and I was really inspired throughout the whole presentation. And the work that you have been doing, it inspired me a lot. And the question which I have is to start such projects. Where we should where do we get the funding? Like, how should we get the funding? And if we want to meet you and get some guidance, then can we?
Of course. So I'll answer the second part first. Regarding meeting me, please coordinate with your professors. We can definitely have an appointment, and I would love to have some students over to our campus also to showcase some things. To answer the first part of your question, see, why would someone give you money? What do you think? Why will someone give you money? Why does an organization give you money for anything? For example, if you want to start a business, they want to give you money. They want to invest in you. They have a belief that this person has a vision which will give a purpose and also give monetary returns in terms of business. Okay. In terms of social impact, a person who wants to create change but is unable to find genuine tools to do so, tries to find people and agencies who may be willing to or who are already implementing such projects. So if it's the beginning, the starting ladder is always the most difficult, that I will say. I have to admit, of course. For Vatsalya also, it was registered in 1995 and the first funding came in 2000. So it takes time. But nowadays, the processes are much more streamlined. That time, there was a lot of more bureaucracy, a lot of more corruption also. Now things are changing, more transparency, more computerization. So it doesn't take 5 years. And it's easier, as the world is more connected, it's easier to pitch your project to many, many people. So again, finding a network is the most important thing. Network will increase somehow the net worth of your purpose. And when you find, for example, if you find 10,000 rupees only, 10,000 is a very small amount. What you do with it, report to your funder, report to your donor. Oh, and they'll be motivated. Oh, fine. He has done very good out of this. Let me gather my friends also and some other donors. Let's give him 1 lakh rupees now. Let's see what he does. You see, it starts there. The starting point is difficult, but it's definitely worth the effort.
Thank you, sir. I have another question, sir. Like, as you said, you don't need a degree to join STEM or anything. So my question is, what are the kinds of difficulties that the students face in the starting? Like, are they able to cope with it? And everyone does everyone cope with it?
That's a very valid question. children do face difficulties in the starting, and it's an effort to design a curriculum which can tailor to their specific needs. So we start with ABCD, I have to admit. So for example, if I were to teach the same citizen science to a child who is 12th grade class from Jaipur, I'll need 3 months, but for them it's a 6-month course. So the extra time and extra resources are required for that, and that's entirely justified, because that's how you create change. So you have to be transparent about it to your donor also. This takes an extra effort. That's okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And I'm very glad to hear that you are inspired. If you people are inspired, the presentation was successful. Even if it was in Chinese, it's very successful. This is the result which really pleases me. Thank you very much.
So also the part that could, should, would, and must was very inspiring, sir.
Thank you very much.
Very
I
nice.
think everybody can relate. That is why it's inspiring, because it is within each and one of us. That is why.
So I have another friend of mine who wants to ask a question.
A very warm good morning, sir, and a very warm good morning to all the dignitaries present over here. Sir, I have a question. Is this like I have come to Jaipur from Kolkata. So I do like I want to connect to the people of Jaipur, like the remote villages, like the villages around around our college, be it Kant, be it CRE, be it Jagatpura, Rampura. But the problem I face there that people cannot connect with me. People cannot connect with me, and even I feel that there is some language barrier that I need to overcome. So I like if I'm really interested, because I was first of all, so it was very encouraging. Your slides were very encouraging, and it kept me hooked till the very end. And I really want to be a part of this program. But how to connect with those people, how to engage, how to be engaging, and how to convince them, and not let them feel that I'm outsider. Okay, I'm from Kolkata. I'm not being able to communicate well in a language that they use.
Okay, great. Thank you for the that you were hooked to the presentation. Thank you for that. But this is actually a very important question. See, there is a thing called as cultural context and sense of proportion. Now, sense of proportion is the very basic sense. For example, if I'm giving this presentation, for example, right now, if I was wearing boxer shorts and tank top, as if I was in a beach in Goa, it doesn't look appropriate, right? Does not, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When you are going to the remote village,
Yes.
and you are interacting with those people, a bit of background study is important. What the statistics, the demographics of that village are. And for that, actually, you don't need to go as a suggester or as someone who is there to bring change. You need to go as a curious seeker. You need to ask them questions, how their life is. What are the problems they face? What do you think the government can do which will help them? And of course, you need to introduce yourself in as humble way as possible, because for them, you are basically almost nothing. It's just some privileged kid from a university who doesn't know anything about real life. That's what they think. So you have to go to their level and relate to them by making them feel that you want to genuinely learn about them and you want to collect this information in order to improve the lives of such villagers and people in the long term. People are ready to share. People are always willing to share. When we go to counselor, we are always willing to share about so many problems. We have to go not as someone who knows a lot and is coming to disseminate information. We have to go as seekers. That's one aspect. That is in your control. The other aspect which is not in your control is, of course, if the people have a background about you. For example, they know Vatsalya, and they know Vatsalya has been working for the grassroots since 20 years. So they have a background about us, and it's easier to relate with me and with other people. Language barrier is not so much as a barrier nowadays. They know Hindi. I tell you, many people who talk in Dhundari also know Hindi, but they don't want to share their hearts. Okay, this I have found in 70-80% cases. People know Hindi. Everything is in Hindi. All the government jobs, all the exams, everything is in Hindi. There are people who don't know Dhundari, especially the older who don't know Hindi, especially the older generation. So that edge, the second part, that comes only with experience. So you go once, it won't produce result. You go twice, maybe something. But on the 10th occasion, they'll be welcoming you and really sharing their hearts out, pouring their hearts out. You understand? So it takes time.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. Thank you so much.
We have another question from Vishnu.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, my question is based on something that you said. You said that your work is mostly focused on improving scientific temper, which is also part of one of our fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution. So, sir, what I've experienced so far in life is that people have certain beliefs in both religion and pseudoscience, which are against the understandings of science. So how do you counter these problems when you go out in the field to educate children?
Okay, you are all asking very, very good questions. I would love to answer this. You know, I faced this situation very recently, I think last week only, when I was taking the citizen science class of astronomy, which photo you show. So a child told me that the phase of the moon and the constellation, they affect your behavior, and that is why I am angry. I get angry when full moon happens or something happens. I don't know. So we had a small laugh about it, but not a ridiculing laugh. That's important. Everyone's belief is true for them. Okay. If I believe I am looking at a cat and I strongly believe there is a cat here, I will formulate that cat and it will be in my mind, even if it's not there. The mind is very strong. So if someone believes that astrology is affecting such things, it's his belief, it's his word. Okay. You know, you have to be respectful about these things. At the same time, inculcate scientific temper through a little bit of diplomacy or things like that. For example, I told this child that the contributions of astrology are far more in any other science to astronomy. And that is actually true. Because of astrologers, we have star charts, which helped astronomy in the later aspects and helped Einstein in the later aspect. So some kind of background knowledge helps. But you have to understand who you are talking to. Are they moldable? Are their belief systems moldable? And if they are moldable, then approach them gently, being respectful and understanding of their dignity. You need to understand, because for them, it's absolutely true. For them, the cat is right there. You understand? So it takes time. You cannot navigate your way through all problems. If my target is today, I will change the belief of 100 people. No, I cannot do that. But I can maybe encourage them to ask more questions about it. Yeah, maybe that's a step.
Sir, I have a follow-up question. It is related to the previous question. So you said in our approach towards children or people who are studying science should be that we have to not disencourage their curiosity. But the thing is, sir, the recent trend is that we see a lot of professionals, especially scientists, who advocate pseudoscience, who advocate things that are actually disproved by science. So how do we counter them?
See, you're asking this from a individual perspective or from a larger socio-political perspective?
Very larger perspective, sir.
Okay, so I'll honestly say that from the socio-political perspective, I don't have a good answer to this because I have worked on the grassroots and with individuals. So that's probably my own style. From a larger perspective, I will just say one thing: if the leaders of a particular society, organization, community, they are targeted to question more and change their belief system, then there's a top-down effect. So like at the country level, there's a prime minister. At the village level, there is a sarpanch. These should be the target people whom we can have open discussions with.
Thank you so much.
If you allow, sir, there is one more question from one student.
Yeah, no problem. I have time till 12:30 today.
Good morning, sir. You told us about networking in one of the slides. So I would like to know, is there any other platform apart from LinkedIn to connect and make networks professionally?
Okay, when I was talking about networking, I was not talking about LinkedIn or social media platforms in particular. No. Networking, see, LinkedIn can help. LinkedIn is a forum for professionals and slightly more corporate inclined. The social aspects are there, but it's slightly more corporate inclined. But having many connections on LinkedIn is not exactly the network which I'm talking about. The network are people who know you, who believe in you, and who believe in your purpose. So there are people who are not on LinkedIn, who are not on any digital platform like this, and they have a big network. People know them, right? There are founders of great organizations, Unnati, and who I don't even think they have a LinkedIn profile. But the network is very strong. People know them because what they do speaks. So as a starting stage in your career, of course, LinkedIn and these are very important tools to help you connect to more people. But what actually helps is what you do after that connection is established. Do you actually engage with them? Do you talk to them? Do you share with them what you want to do? Even if it's about a corporate career, then also the network is very important. Okay? Yeah. LinkedIn is a tool. These are tools. These are not the destinations. Understand?
Is there any other question, Ajit sir?
No, ma'am, I think students have got the answer to their questions now.
Yes, sir. I have a question actually. You have a vast experience in the field of solar energy, right?
Yes.
So, is there any scheme by the government if we want to install solar panel at our home? Because it is quite expensive. So maybe I have heard that the government support to install a solar panel in our home. So is there any government scheme?
Yeah, of
Do you have
course. There has been long time subsidy for installation of solar panels. For example, on a 10 kilowatt system, you get 94,000 rupees subsidy. I have consulted with and installed more than 30 projects till now. But the problem actually here is again, and actually this is an important point you touched upon. For example, I'll give you an example. In Bagru, there is a farmhouse where a known person had got agro solar bore well installed, and it was not working. So this comes into the importance of STEM, sustainability and social impact, because the workers who were government deployed workers had installed the solar panels under a tree. No, there was no orientation. There was a tree and they installed the solar panels under it. Now this is of course basic lack of understanding. But then even those who have a little bit of understanding are just going after this field just from a business perspective just to make money, and they're not able to sustain that money for long term or do this business for long term because they have not gone into a basic science of these things. For example, there is a thing called as hotspot. If there is a pole, an electric pole which shadows a solar panel, that particular cell goes into reverse bias, it heats up and it will fail after 2-3 years. By then the installer will have gone to another part of the world. and the customer will be unhappy. So some ethics and technical things of these installation aspects are also needed to be refined, but they will happen only through STEM. If the next generation of these technicians who do not do engineering, but technicians, the ITI technicians, if they have the orientation to do this. So some of my students are doing well. They are in Adani, in large scale projects, and one has even opened a solar shop in Acharol, very close to you. He's become an entrepreneur. He's a dealer of UTL, Luminous, and all these companies. So the orientation has to be there. That's
It's
all.
important. Yeah. And I think it took a little bit lengthy procedure too.
Yes, of course. It's an infrastructure project. A virtual solar plant needs to be made before the actual one. No one makes it. A wind load simulation needs to be done. These winds cannot make it fall. 2 years back in Jaipur, and from a high-rise building, solar panels fell, and no one was injured, but it can cause fatalities. So people don't think so much about these aspects.
We need to orient more there. So thank you so much, sir, and very well session, very planned session. And as we look to the future, it's a crystal clear that the next generation holds a key to advancing STEM, sustainability, and creating meaningful social impact. And their innovation, passion, and commitment to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics will drive solutions that foster a sustainable world while addressing societal needs. So by nurturing these young minds and encouraging their pursuit in STEM field, we are paving the way for a future where innovation meets sustainability, shaping a world that benefits both the environment and humanity. So बहुत अच्छा लगा सर आपके साथ सेशन करके, एक छोटी सी कोशिश, एक छोटा सा प्रयास, और फिर कहा भी गया है कि some people spread happiness where are they go and others create happiness where are they go. Choice is yours. It depends on you which category you fall in. So thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. And now I would like to call Dr. Ajit Singh, sir, Assistant Professor, Amity Institute of Behavioral and Life Sciences, for the vote of thanks. Ajit, sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, all. Thank you is such a word that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get an opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this special occasion. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our founder president, sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, for getting us the opportunity to get together and conduct such events. My sincere thanks to Honorable Chancellor Dr. Aseem Chauhan, sir, Vice Chancellor Professor Amit Jain, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. G.K. Aseri, sir. I am also thankful to the Registrar Dr. Nitin Bharadwaj, sir, who always encouraged us to facilitate us in conducting such events. A special thanks goes to the resource person of the day, Mr. Kartikeya Gupta, sir, Director Programs Vatsalya, who made us understand the role of science, technology, engineering, mathematics in modern time and the trends and opportunities we have. He also highlighted the role of networking and building networks to new scientists. It was really encouraging and mesmerizing session, sir. Thank you so much. Today, my words are not enough to express my gratitude to Dr. Monica Gwalani, Coordinator IVAS, whose endless efforts made this event fruitful and successful. I would like to thank Dr. Niharsi Srivastava, Dr. Sriza Das ma'am, for organizing such a wonderful event. I am very much thankful to all the faculty members of IVAS. I would like to extend my gratitude to the IT support. Last but not least, all credit goes to all the students who made this event a great success. It was not possible without you guys. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for everyone.
I would request everyone to turn on their cameras for photographs, and thank you so much, Ajit sir, for vote of thanks. So kindly, everyone, turn on your cameras.
Everyone, just turn on your camera. turn on your camera, everyone. Students.
And Ajit sir, please click this memorable moment in your phone.
I request all the students to turn on their mobile camera. I request Niharsi ma'am to please allow all the candidates to on their video.
Dear students, please turn on your cameras for the group photographs. Yes.
Everyone, please turn on your camera.
Yes. Yeah. I think some students are facing a little bit network issue because I received a 4 to 5 students message in this regard. So click this photograph. Okay. So thank you so much, Kartikeya sir, for this wonderful session. And Monica ma'am, you want to add something?
No, but actually, I just would like to thank Mr. Karthik for accepting the invitation, being there with us, and actually, the session was really very interesting and insightful. We all enjoyed it, and definitely, we all were having really good learning outcomes from the session. So, thank you so much, sir, for being there with us. Thanks a lot.
Kindly
you, sir.
permit me to take my leave now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
thank
much.
you all for being an attentive and interesting audience. Now you all may be disconnected. Thank you.
If the students want to visit, please they are most welcome. They can approach the professors for that.
Sure, sir. Sure. Sir. Thank you.
Surely, we'll be planning some connect program with you as well, and we'll be visiting your organization.
Sure.
Thank you.